Those who fight corruption should be clean themselves. Sometimes it is necessary to be lonely in order to prove that you are right. Whoever does not miss the Soviet Union has no heart. Whoever wants it back has no brain. Terrorism has no nationality or religion. I have a private life in which I do not permit interference. It must be respected. Stalinism is linked with a cult of personality and massive violations of the law, with repression and camps. There is nothing like that in Russia and, I hope, will never again be. We shall fight against them, throw them in prisons and destroy them. We need business to understand its social responsibility, that the main task and objective for a business is not to generate extra income and to become rich and transfer the money abroad, but to look and evaluate what a businessman has done for the country, for the people, on whose account he or she has become so rich. One has to be insincere and promise something which you cannot fulfill. So you either have to be a fool who does not understand what you are promising, or deliberately be lying. My personal position is that society must keep children safe. The centuries-old history and culture of India, majestic architectural monuments and museums of Delhi, Agra and Mumbai have a unique attractive force. Everything will probably never be okay. But we have to try for it. I don't read books by people who have betrayed the motherland. I was brought up in a very ordinary family, in fact, a worker's family. Both my father and mother were ordinary citizens. It's a historical phenomenon that in 250 years, a nation could move from a colony into the most prosperous nation of the world and the leader of the world. It is indeed an achievement, a tribute to the talent of the American nation, the American people and an optimal political and economic system. He who does not regret the breakup of the Soviet Union has no heart. He who wants to revive it in its previous form has no head. If you aspire to be a leader of your own country, you must speak your own language, for God's sake. I think the international community should unite to fight such inhuman phenomena as terror attacks and the murder of totally innocent people. I think the American people should express their preferences, and we'll accept their choice. Russian democracy is the power of the Russian people with their own traditions of national self-government, and not the realization of standards foisted on us from outside. Russia and China are very natural partners. We are neighbors with an immense common border. The ability to compromise is not a diplomatic politeness toward a partner but rather taking into account and respecting your partner's legitimate interests. Politics should not interfere with sports. And sports should impact politics. Political activities in Russia should be as transparent as possible. Financing political activities from abroad is something the state should keep an eye on. The more intermediaries there are, the more problems there are. I think every person should have some faith inside him, in his heart. What matters is not an external display of this faith, but the inner state of the soul. Terrorism has once again shown it is prepared deliberately to stop at nothing in creating human victims. An end must be put to this. As never before, it is vital to unite forces of the entire world community against terror. At last, Russia has returned to the world arena as a strong state, a country that others heed and that can stand up for itself. You need to put drones under control. You need to lay out certain rules of engagement in order to prevent or minimize collateral casualties. It is extremely important. How does one control weight? By not overeating. How does one stay in shape? One plays sports. There are no magic. We're no longer in the Cold War. Eavesdropping on friends is unacceptable. I go to the gym, I swim daily, and from time to time I meet with friends and do extracurricular stuff. I am the wealthiest man, not just in Europe, but in the whole world. I collect emotions. I am wealthy in that the people of Russia have twice entrusted me with the leadership of a great nation such as Russia. I believe that is my greatest wealth. You must obey the law, always, not only when they grab you by your special place. In the modern world, those who are weak will get unambiguous advice from foreign visitors which way to go and what policy course to pursue. The Russian people have unilaterally made their choice in direction of democracy in the early 90s. They will not be led astray. Nobody should be having any doubts. In accordance with the Constitution of the Russian Federation, the issues of foreign policy and defense are fully in the hands of the President. A considerable share of the world's population still cannot afford comfortable housing, education and quality health care. It's Russia some people would like to get rid of. They are still afraid of our nuclear deterrent. We have our own foreign policy whether they like it or not. It is necessary to suppress any extremist actions, on all sides, regardless of their origin. The Eurasian Union is a project meant to preserve the identities of nations and the historic Eurasian community in the new century, in a new world. I'm eternally grateful to fate and the citizens of Russia that they've trusted me to be the head of the Russian government. It is wrong to make anyone into an enemy. It is wrong to scare the people of one's own country with that enemy and try to rally some allies on that basis. Our military might is the guarantor of Russia's security and independence.
They wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to